West Vancouver, the Bank of Canada just announced another 0.5% interest rate drop. Now, will this be the catalyst to jumpstart the real estate market for West Vancouver? Let's get into it. This is your market update for the month of December. West Van, this is going to be a banger. It's our last one. So breaking down these numbers maybe a little bit more than I usually do. We saw 471 active listings. We did see 32 sales, and average days on market is sitting in and around 62. Now, when we look at benchmark pricing for West Vancouver, it's at a staggering $3,288,000, giving us a sales to active ratio more in a buyer's market. However, if we do break those numbers down in the most active part of West Vancouver between $2 and $3 million, what we see is we saw 12 sales out of the 99 active listings, giving us a sales to active ratio of 13%. So don't let those old bird realtors fool you. We are actually in a balanced market, especially when you break down the average home in West Vancouver. Moving on to condos, we did see a 20% increase in listings from this time last year. We saw 119 active listings, and we saw 11 sales, with the average days on market sitting in and around 60. Now, we look at benchmark pricing, we saw it's at $1,212,000. Now, comparing that to the more active market in the condo market between 400 and 900,000, what we saw 3 of 26 homes sell, giving us a sales to active ratio of 11.5%, meaning we're in a balanced market. However, when we look at West Vancouver condo market as a whole, we're sitting at 9.2. So that means we're actually in a buyer's market for condos in whole. That's why it does make sense when you do narrow down these numbers. It's not always how it seems. Last but certainly not least, townhomes. Now, we did see 22 active listings with 2 sales. Now, there wasn't that much sales data to give you benchmark pricing and days on market that were actually that accurate. However, when we do look at West Vancouver as a whole, and given that interest rate, I do expect things to go a bit crazy in the West Vancouver market. It has been underperforming for a number of years. And given that they've just reduced that interest rate 1% in the last few months, expect things to get a little crazy. North Vancouver, the Bank of Canada just reduced the interest rate again, another 0.5%. Now, what does that mean for North Vancouver? Well, this is our last market update for the year, so let's get into it. North Vancouver, this is your real estate market update for the month of December. So a common theme that we're gonna talk about in this market update is sales are up, whether we're talking about townhomes, condos, or detached. Now, looking at detached, we saw 275 active listings. Now, 55 sales for last month, with average days on market sitting at 33. When we look at the sales to active ratio, we're sitting at 20%, meaning that we're in a strong seller's market. And if we look at benchmark pricing, we're at $2,147,000. Now, if we were to break those numbers into a smaller segment of the market, what we see is between $1.5 and $2 million, we saw 18 out of the 50 homes listed sell, thus giving us a sales to active ratio of almost 35%. This number is quite different from the average sales on market for detached homes, meaning that detached is in an extremely hot market. All right, let's talk about condos. We saw 313 active listings with 89 sales last month. Average days on market is sitting in and around 30. Now, the benchmark pricing for condos in North Van is sitting at $796,000. And if we look at the sales to active ratio, we're in and around 28.4%. Now, again, if we break down those numbers in between $400,000 and $900,000 for a condo, what we see is 56 sales out of the 159 listings, giving us an actual sales to active ratio of 35%, absolutely significantly higher than the sales to active ratio on condos on a whole in North Vancouver. Last but certainly not least, townhomes. We saw 92 active listings with 28 sales. Now, average days on market for a townhome is sitting in and around 32. If we look at benchmark pricing, we saw a townhome sitting at $1,349,000. Now, the sales to active ratio for an average townhome is at a whopping 30%. When we break down those numbers between 900 and 1,500,000, we saw 19 sales out of the 49 active listings, giving us a sales to active ratio of 38%. an 8% increase from the average townhome in North Vancouver. So given all those numbers, since October, the Bank of Canada has reduced that interest rate 1%. Now, a lot of buyers are starting to give me a call because they want to get in before the rush and before that spring market comes into full effect. Now, if you are thinking about selling, it might be a good time to put your home on the market right now. And if you're a buyer, it might be a better time to jump in right now. Now, this is our last market update for the year, and I do have to say thank you for everyone that watches. And from me to your family, happy holidays. And remember, when you're ready, call Trinetti.